It's your main man 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows. Live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J. Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, MVP. And that's right. You heard it. I'm back at it. Back. I'm back at it. On the hottest station on the planet, Hot 702.5 FM, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Tune in for MVP Speaks Life. Hey, everybody. It's your girl, MVP. I want to welcome you to the MVP Speaks Life. Rachel, I'm in 702.5 FM Studios. I'm in here with my co-host,
Rachel Cherie.
And you know, we are happy that you're here. We're going to go ahead and start the show with our Oracle card message. For those of you who don't know what an Oracle card is, I just like to call it a message from the universe. Just a message of encouragement. So, Rachel, what'd you get for us today?
You are not alone.
Oh, I love that.
I'm here with you. Okay.
Sing it, girl.
The card says you're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. Let's get into the card. The older the soul, the deeper the cave. Many starseeds and old souls enjoy their own company. Amen. Spending time alone can be comforting and necessary for their vitality, as it allows them to commune with their soul and fill up their energetic resources, especially if they have an underactive or open root chakra or find it hard being human. Many starseeds find it more nourishing to retreat than to spend time in meaningless conversations and relationships. However, we must remember that we're not here to go about this life alone. Humans are pack animals, and we all need love, company, and support of others, both emotionally and physically. In our increasingly online world, we can be connected to more people and yet feel more alone and isolated than ever. There's still so much we don't know about the energetic sides, the energetic side effects of things like social media, with so many people knowing our news. What is it doing to our auric field? Commonly, right, we find ourselves in constant conversation, yet lacking the genuine connection of physical community and touch. The main message of this card is to step out of your cave and physically reach out to those in your life, to replenish when you need to, but not isolate yourself. This could be seeing friends and family who live nearby, or having a regular catch-up walk with someone. In what ways can you open yourself up to people who are physically in your life? Those you truly know. The Star Seesaw Inquiry. How can you reach out to people in your life physically? I just feel like we just need to just be more old school. That's all. Just because we don't have landlines
Yeah.
anymore, we just need to reach out the organic way.
Yes. And hold on. Let's bring our guest on because I want to get her in this conversation as well. We have live in the studios with us the poet laureate. Now, is this of Nevada? Of Clark County. I'm too loud. That's my black side coming out. Okay. Clark County. Miss A.V. Yay.
Hey, guys.
Clap it up for
A.V.
Miss A.V.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Thank you for being here. I'm excited that you're here, and I wanted to just see what you thought about the Oracle message.
Sure. Well, I think that constantly in this human experience, we think that it's really just us. You know, like we're the only ones that are having this experience. We're the only ones that could possibly know a thing. But, you know, for me particularly, right, I'm in the world of poetry. And it is so clear, you know, when you go to an open mic that we are not alone in our experiences. That so often our community goes through the same thing.
things, yeah.
So when we have these moments of connection, you know, it's almost like a surprise. Like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, you too.
Yeah.
You get it. You see me. We are actually here. And I think that's where the power of like found family comes into play as well.
Yeah.
When we are connecting on those truly, truly spiritual levels of, you know, sometimes things that aren't fluffy and happy. But, you know, through that community
Facts.
connection,
Yeah.
we heal and we
Yeah.
find ourselves. So,
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks for sharing.
yeah.
Yeah, it said something in there about, I don't know what it said about the social media, but it made me think. I was listening to 360 the Poet show earlier, and there was the question was, you know, there's a person who feels their best friend is not engaging with them on social media, like sharing their posts or commenting on their posts or anything like that. And I felt like, you know, it's so much pressure. I feel like it's so much pressure to do all this, that, and the other on social media. And then after I was watching that, I was just thinking how lately I've just been feeling like I don't want to post anything on social media. Like, I just
Yeah.
was feeling like, you know, I'm tired of posting stuff.
Gets
Or, you know,
irritating,
it could,
yeah.
because, like, why am I doing it? And my life is so sacred. Like, why do I want to share it with the world? But that was just my thought about that. But it is important that we connect. And social
Yeah.
media is good for that. Like, it's, I feel like it's all, everything is about balance.
100%. Yeah.
So, yeah.
We just need to step away from the phones.
Yeah. In the landlines, you said something about
Yeah.
landlines.
Yeah, because that was, people used to stay on the phone all the, my mom used to drag the phone around the house.
Yeah.
Just on the phone.
Talking to people.
Just talking
Yes.
until she can't talk no more. Like,
Yes.
just talking.
There was a post that showed a community of people who the young kids wanted cell phones. And so the parents, instead of getting them cell phones, installed landlines for all the kids in that community.
Nice.
So they can talk to each other. I was like, that's freaking awesome with the little cord and everything.
Yeah. And kids don't even be going outside no more.
Yeah,
Like,
that, yeah.
It's not even just adults that are caught up in this social media. It's
Yeah,
the children
it's the
too.
children.
They
Yeah.
play these online games or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how they connect with each other. But they don't go outside and get hurt and play in the dirt and get cussed out for going
Right, and being
inside and
dirty.
outside the screen door or nothing.
Yes.
They don't get fussed at for going outside. They don't get told to stay outside. Nothing.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's just
It's
different.
a different era
It
for
is
sure.
a different era for sure.
It's different.
Times have changed and evolved, but it's all good, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, thanks for that card.
You're welcome.
I appreciated that message, and you guys, you are not alone. And I think it's important because sometimes we can get in our heads and we can get in our
Yeah.
silos, and we can just be, you know, you can even be addicted to your own solitude, like. You know, like you don't want to go out. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. So I had this Facebook friend. Now, I never all the way met her in real life. We
know, it's
chatted
really-
online for years. she's had a post up that she needs to get out more. Like she don't have no real life friends. She don't have nobody to chat with. And I'm like the person. I'm like, oh, I inbox her. I didn't even say it like all on her post. I was like, hey, let's hook up. Like, let's go get coffee or let's just hang out. You're not alone. That was basically what I was trying to tell her. She was so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited. We set a date. And then the day of, I went to go confirm, I'm going to be on my way, blah, blah, blah. And she had me blocked.
No.
I was like,
blocked, though?
Blocked? Like,
wow.
What did I do for that?
Nothing. She
Nothing.
probably was too much for her. She probably ain't really ready.
It probably was too much for her. It was
funny
to me, but at the same time, it was kind of sad because I'm like.
You're the one that said you wanted friends.
Right, I'm trying, but sometimes people don't really want what they say they want.
That's it, right
they
there.
They just want to complain about their life, and they don't want a real change. I don't know what the situation is, but I blocked her back just in case she changed her mind. Like, let me come over here, all this toxicity.
Here we go.
Motherfucker. Anyways, but you're not alone. And if you ever want to get coffee or tea or ice cream or something because it's hot now, I don't understand. Come holler at me. Anyways, all right, let's get on with it. Let's pull our Be Inspired. And do you have your inspirational message bag?
I don't. Let me grab it. Hold on.
Okay, we're gonna get our Be Inspired inspirational. I like how you always explode them out. Do you do that on purpose? Okay. So you can get in there?
Yeah, this time I did it on purpose. That last time that was an explosion.
Okay, I love that.
I got one.
Okay. All right. Yeah, go first. What do you have? Which one did you pull?
Right. My joy is my journey.
Yeah.
I love that.
Do you feel that's true?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
I sure do.
I love that. That's right, because it is. Because guess what? Wherever you go, once you get there, you're going to always be going somewhere else.
Yes.
So you might as well enjoy the journey.
For sure.
Love is the answer. We got twinsies.
Yeah.
Okay.
We totally have twinsies.
Okay.
Love is the answer. I know that, and I'm not elaborating. Anyway.
Okay, you don't have to. Don't be mad at the message, motherfucker.
Oh, no, I'm not mad. I'm just saying. I'm totally not elaborating on that one. Practice doesn't make perfect. I am a perfect confection. I know that, too. I am the shit. Thank you.
Yes, you are. Oh, you're reading them all? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
I didn't read all mine.
I love myself enough only to show love to others. Okay, I'll work on that.
Yes. And sometimes a message is something you just might need to work on.
Sure.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. Okay. And my other one is just be.
Yes.
BEE. Because it's be inspired. You get it?
Yeah.
Totally just be. Okay. Did you want to pick one more?
Let's
or
do
one
one
was
more.
enough? It's up to you. No pressure.
Oh, I got it. Let's do it. Let's see what else the universe has for me. The power of my mind is incredible. I think so.
Yes.
I think so. I be manifesting.
Yes.
I do.
I hope so.
I really do.
I love that for you. Speaking of manifesting and the power of your mind being incredible, you are the poet laureate of Clark County.
Yes.
How's that feel, first of all?
It's still a little bit crazy. I've so essentially, just for those who are like, what is this term that they keep saying?
I was going to say that next. What does that mean?
What is this?
What does that mean?
So essentially, a poet laureate is the cultural ambassador for the poetic art form for a specific region. So for me, I am the poet laureate for Clark County. So that's all of Southern Nevada. So that includes Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, Henderson, Boulder City, Laughlin, Mesquite, all of that. We have a population of just over 2 million. So it's a very large area. So I've been hitting the road a lot.
Yes.
So, it's been really cool to get out of this kind of the greater city area. I was born and raised in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And so being able to, I was just in Indian Springs and Mesquite and, I love Laughlin and Boulder City. So it's been a lot of fun to do that, and to be doing workshops, it's all about letting people know, whether it's here locally or on a national scale, that poetry and literary arts are alive and well right here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
We really are a literary hub, and it's time that people recognize that. There's a lot going on, and so I'm hoping, for my 2-year term, that people recognize and we get more and more eyes right here in Southern Nevada, so people can not only give us more funding, but also create more large-scale opportunities for the local talent here, which is absolutely tremendous. And we definitely deserve more recognition and more opportunity. We need some poetry on the Strip. I said what I said.
I believe that.
We
That's
need
a fact.
it there. So, that's
all they
my
want to
goal.
do is drink. They
Yeah.
need some
That is
poetry.
right.
There's more things in
There's
Vegas
more to do
than
than drink.
booties and beers.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wouldn't mind. You can have a drink and listen to poems.
Yes.
Whatever works, we can meet.
We can work together.
we can meet.
Bring it all
We can put it
together.
together.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering, how does one even become a cultural ambassador of poetry?
In terms of like just logistics of like the actual thing, it's an application process.
Okay.
So, you fill out an application, you submit a resume, you have to submit 3 pages of poetry, so of your
Wow.
original work. And then if you're chosen from those kind of on paper things, then they invite you in for an in-person interview. Only the top 5 candidates get interviewed. And so then you're interviewed by an entire panel of community leaders. They all have questions for you, things of like, what do you want to do? Why do you want to do this? What is your history of Southern Nevada? And those kinds of things. And you perform your poems as well. So you perform at least, I want to say they told me like 15 minutes.
Okay. Get
So
a whole set.
a whole set to let them know, and so for me, I felt like it went really well. It was
Clearly.
yes, here I am. But it felt good.
Yeah.
There's sometimes when you go into rooms and you feel like you're supposed to be there. I think that it was really one of those moments for me, because I have been doing poetry here locally for about 10 years now, from starting my own organizations, doing events, performing myself, as well as traveling across the country. And so it just came to a point where it's like, man, like, if not me, then who?
Right.
If not now, then when?
Period.
You kind of got to get out of your own way. And I
Yes.
definitely was in that imposter syndrome for a while. I am, one of the only poet laureates that are actually from Las Vegas and from
Okay.
Southern Nevada. I'm number 6, if anybody was wondering. There
Okay.
are 5 before me. And, and I'm also not an academic. I'm not a tenured professor at a
Okay.
university. I don't have a
I
doctorate
see
in
exactly what you're
literature.
saying. Yeah, I
You know
see
what I'm
you're
saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, who am I
Who-
to do
yes.
this thing? I
She's
can't.
AV from the block.
You know what I'm saying? And
You're
I
very-
had to
that's very
recognize that.
inspirational.
I had to recognize that.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, like, I've been doing this work, right? If we're talking about letting people know that poetry's here, I've been doing that for a decade. So regardless of what academia might think of my poetry,
Right.
my story matters, my community matters, and there's no one better to
Yes.
talk about my community, my love for my community, than someone who grew up here and has just a genuine care and love for Southern Nevada. So it's like, let's do some cool things. Like, let's be here and do it.
Yes.
So far it's been fun. Busy, very busy,
Yes.
but that's what you signed up for. I'm here
That's
for it.
right. That's what you signed up for.
That's wonderful.
Outside. Do you have a
Yeah.
question for her? Oh, I don't know if you did or not.
No, I just think it's inspirational that she don't have all these accolades or whatever
Right.
that people would probably prefer you have,
Yeah.
Sure.
because they are.
Sure.
They,
It's all about the
yeah,
paper,
yeah,
right?
Right.
Right,
And
right.
that's super inspirational. I love that.
I appreciate you saying that. And there is something in like, it's terms of like accolades and kind of like what that means, right? Because it's like, no, we talked about like the education, right? I didn't go to college for English or creative writing.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like if you still put in the work and you still give a shit,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to reflect what's happening. So it's like sometimes when we talk about the accolades, I feel like I do have those,
Yeah, 'cause
right?
Yeah.
Experience is what matters.
And it's like boots
Hello.
on the ground,
Yes.
of what's going on. And
We played that song last
I was
week.
gonna say, don't make me break out this fan.
Where them fans at?
Don't make me do it. I will.
flashback.
And I just think, it's important. Like, if you really care about something, or, poetry started off as just a hobby. I walked into an open mic on Main Street one time. And it changed the trajectory of my life. And I just kept doing it, which led to poetry competitions called Poetry Slams, joining my first Poetry Slams team in 2016, traveling the country, becoming a deaf poet during that time. So there are some things and those kind of accolades where it's like I am featured by All Deaf Digital. I am featured on Button Poetry. I am featured multiple times on Right About Now. And
that's wonderful.
And TED Talks.
Okay.
By the way.
That's nice.
Did you just recently do a TED Talk?
No, I did the first time they came into Las Vegas in 2022, but this time I was their arts recruiter. So I was on the curation committee this time.
It's levels.
So there's levels to it. I appreciate you saying that. Like, there's levels, and sometimes it ain't all this like rah in your face stuff. Like talking about like me being the arts, recruiter for TED Talks. Like, that's something I did behind the scenes that I'm still super proud of, and super proud of the artists that were able to perform for TED Talks 2025. So it's
Shout
like you
out
do
Brittany
things.
Soul.
Yes, Brittany Soul, Elizabeth Allen Berry, Rodney J. Lee.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And also the African dancers from the West Las Vegas Arts Center. Okay. We were very grateful to have them as well. So there's just been so much. Sonia Barcelona, an incredible singer-songwriter.
Wow.
So it was just so beautiful. So you find ways to be able to still give back. And sometimes that always ain't the camera in your face.
That's so true.
You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that it's any less or, you talked about intention earlier. Like, we have to know, like, what are we really trying to do? Like, is it all about me, or is it about my community?
Right.
And what does that look like? So definitely kind of keeping that in check too, of like, what is about me and what is about all of us.
I love that. What is about me and what is about all of us? I feel like that should be something.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but it's beautiful.
It's brewing.
So you have been doing your poetry, like you said, for several years. Sure. You walked into that open mic on Main Street.
Yeah.
Like, what was it about that experience that you're like, oh, I can do this, or oh, I need to do this, or
it was so incredibly welcoming. At that time in my life, I was having a really hard time, the dark seat of the soul, if you will. For me at that moment. And so I was going to a really amazing counselor, and they said, hey, you've been writing for a long time secretly. I've been writing poetry since I was like 8.
You were already writing.
Yeah, I've been writing since I was 8 years old, but I never was like, I'm a writer. No, I didn't even share my work like that. And then it just slowly started like opening old boxes and coming out. And I was talking to my counselor about it, and they were like, hey, you should, try to share these things. And I said, excuse me? On a microphone in front of people? Are you tripping right now? But a little more of that kind of good peer pressure. And I decided to walk in. I put my name on the list. I was like first on the list, y'all. And I like hid behind my book. I was like literally hiding behind my book. And I read my poem and left immediately after. Like, immediately I was gone. But in the time that I was there, man, people were so loving, so accepting. And that is the thing about the Las Vegas like open mic scene that I think is truly unique from any of my travels around the country. You are not about to get booed off of a Las Vegas open mic stage. Even if you completely flop, people are going to work and go, you got this, poet. Come on, you got it. They're snapping, they're clapping. You got it, And it was just like, for that time in my life, like, I needed that. I needed to feel seen and accepted. And not for nothing, the host told me to come back. Sometimes it's that simple. To feel like you have somewhere to go back to. And it changed my life.
I love that. I think that's so, and that's so true, because I came here from Milwaukee, Wisconsin 6 years ago, and every open mic I ever went to, I always felt welcomed.
Yeah.
Like, from all the different, open mics. I always felt welcomed. And you're so right about the encouragement. Like, we're not going to be like, oh, you suck, mother sucker, get out. We're going to We're going to tell you got it. We're going to tell you
Yeah.
it's right there. We're going to clap for you. We're going to snap for you. And I think that's so important as an artist to have that experience.
Yes.
Because it only just encourages you to, okay, come back or to
Yeah.
don't give up. Like, you
Yeah,
know what
or
I'm
it's
saying?
like, wow, I finally found a healthy outlet
right.
in Las
Ooh.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have to be doing drugs. I don't have to be
Right.
drinking. I don't have to be doing these things. I don't have to. I can do something else and still be outside, still be having a good time,
Yes.
still not spend all my money, you know, so
And
there's
making
that
an
too.
impact.
Yes.
Because what I realized, poetry, I believe, is for ourselves first. You know, we write for whatever reasons we write to
Sure.
heal or to express. But then when you're on a stage or when you're even not even on a stage, you can just be in a small circle in the library, you know, just sharing what you write. It's therapeutic for you. It's healing for you. But like you said earlier, it lets people see that they're not alone.
Yes,
Like,
100%.
oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
the relatability. And I think that helps us as human, like, because we're all on this human experience. So just
Yeah.
to know, like, it's not just me, or even just to be inspired. Some of these mother suckers is so talented.
Yeah.
Like how they put their words together and make them sound how they, I'd be like, how do you do that? Like,
Yeah.
and I write. So I don't even know like how people, it's incredible.
Yeah,
It's really incredible. Okay, so you're a poet.
I am.
You're a mom.
Oh, yep.
You know we're gonna talk about that part.
Oh, no, we always
No,
talk. I love my
yes.
kids.
So tell us about that. How does that work with being a mom and being the poet laureate and just
Traveling all over the place.
balancing everything and
Yeah.
traveling?
Well, first and foremost, shout out to my husband.
Yes.
You know, he holds it down.
Okay.
He really holds it down. We have 3 kids. So, you know, and they range from 7 years old to 3 months. You know, so it's a busy time at the house.
I know.
And when, you know, I'm not there, like my husband got it, you know, and he's also a spoken word artist and
Yes. Fire.
an award-winning visual artist as well. So it's like we understand that we're on this artist journey. So, you know, there ain't no like jealousy. There ain't no, you know, oh, hey, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be a little late. You know how sometimes people have those like
Yeah.
What you doing?
yeah, like
Yeah.
undercut. Oh, what you talking about? Or you know, the passive aggressive that really doesn't exist
I love
in
that
our
for you.
relationship,
Yeah.
so that we can constantly grow and understand the mission. So it's like if we're trying to elevate. That's the biggest thing. And you know, I'm a big planner. Okay.
Okay.
I have my planner.
the
I
board on
plan.
the wall or
Oh, I sure do have a board on the wall. 90-day calendar on the wall.
Oh, nice.
I have a 2-year planner that I write everything in. So it's like what's scheduled is what gets done.
Yeah.
You know, and I, you know, I answer emails.
Okay.
Okay, that's the big one. You answer emails to, you know, get those things booked. And, you know, that's just how you have to be. You have to be very diligent.
And
as-
organized.
You have to be because, you know, I'm balancing being a wife. I'm balancing being a mom of 3. I'm balancing being my own artist, right? As
Yes.
Miss AV and still doing stuff. And then now on top of that, I'm the poet laureate. So it's like, it is a lot. It is a lot to do. And, you know, sometimes I feel a little exhausted, but, you know, that's when you come into the space of you're like, you know, tapping back into that big why. Like, I'm doing this because I felt like poetry gave me a new life. It gave me this new mission and something that felt so good in a way for me to connect to people and help folks. So it's like, if poetry did that for me, how can I help other people see that poetry might be able to do that with them too? And my kids are artsy fartsy kids too.
Yeah, I was about to say,
They really
Do they
are.
be writing poetry, or do you practice for them, or are they involved in
sure.
your art in any way?
Oh, absolutely. So with all of my children, you know, I toured and performed pregnant, all of them. So nothing ever stopped. And I think that was something too. I think the older generations, I don't know, they made it seem like you have kids, your life is
Can't do
over.
nothing. I know that's so.
And I said,
No.
no. Like, what
No.
do you mean? No,
No,
that is not
that's
what we're
not
doing.
true.
My kids travel with me.
Yes.
They go to features with me. If I do events, most of my stuff is all ages because I'm a mom. And I need my
Yes.
kids to be able to be there. And I want, guess what? community to come out. You got kids too? Bring
Yes.
them.
The children. Right.
Like, how beautiful of that, when your kids get older, to be like, dang, I used to go to performances with my mom. And I used to see drummers and dancers and singers. And I think that is so beautiful. So I incorporate my family in everything I do. In August, I got booked by the library district in Flagstaff to come teach a poetry workshop. My entire family's coming with me. My husband, the 3 kids, we're going together. We're going to make a road trip of it, a family trip. And I feel like that's what's fun about being an artist, being able to have those types of moments where it's not like, oh, mommy's gone all the time. No,
Right.
we're gone all the
all the
time.
Right.
And I really believe in that. Yeah, sure. Sometimes it could be challenging, right? I got a toddler and a new baby, and you know what I mean? But you make it work, and that's also part of that journey, and they inspire me every day.
Oh,
So I want them to be a part of that, even if sometimes it's a little bit more challenging. We got to do a little bit more planning to make
Leave
sure.
a little bit earlier.
You know what I'm saying? But once you kind of get that buttoned up and just understand that's part of the protocol, then it's real fun, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's important, the fun part,
Mm-hmm.
because it's work, but you enjoy what you're doing,
Yeah,
and your
right.
family's with you.
Yeah.
And
That's the best job.
it
Yeah.
sounds like
To love
it's-
what you're doing.
Yeah.
It sounds like the best life,
I think so.
because not only because you're doing what you love to do, but you get to incorporate your family in it.
Yeah.
And your husband's an artist too, so you guys have that. It's like that artist romance life.
I think so. I think so. And it just, it helps so much. It's so tough when you're a career artist and you're dating somebody who is not, because they
Yes.
don't get it.
They don't get it.
Shout out to everybody that can make that work. It does not work for me, because it's like, even my friends are all artists. Because this is my focus.
Yeah.
I'm 100% going in this direction. This train
Yes.
ain't stopping.
Right.
So you're either getting on the train, we're doing stuff
Right.
together, or I'm a
Right.
wave as I go by. Like
right,
that. That's it. And, sometimes, people either get that or they don't. And, send them love and light, but I'm
Yeah.
still moving.
That's
Right.
it, period. That's what you got to do. And that's something to be proud of.
It's definitely hard dating someone that's not an artist.
Yeah.
Because it's what you said. You like, oh, I'm going to be home late.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh. And you're like, damn, can you be happy for me? This is an
Right.
opportunity that I'm getting. And then you got to
Yeah.
deal with that
That
lower
just
vibration.
lets you know that's not the
not the one.
because it shouldn't be like
I'm
that.
like, you don't believe I'm okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm grateful because I'm single. Praise the Lord. But I have been in relationships that it wasn't like that.
Right. Yeah.
And I was even in a relationship with the artist.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that. And I'm like, we do the same thing, mother sucker. Like,
Yeah.
why can't it be how it
Sure.
should be? You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody on nothing. We trying to make hits and
Yeah.
tour the world and,
Yeah.
make an impact.
I mean, you gotta swim through the frogs. You know what I'm saying? You gotta swim through the frogs to find the prince.
Yes.
You gotta do it. And it's just like it be like that. People be jealous,
That's what it is. Jealous. But why you don't even have to be jealous, especially
You
if I
don't.
invited your ass.
Right.
Like, what?
That's
Hello.
another thing. They don't want to go. And then they're jealous.
If you want to go,
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
need no
It's
low
all about-
vibration in my life.
Yeah, it's just, and at the end of the day, what I learned too is those types of people are just not doing what they really want to do in their life.
Yes.
And they're not secure within themselves about themselves. Like,
Yeah.
it don't have nothing to do with me, because that's why I say, mother sucker, you're gonna have to keep up with me.
yeah,
like,
work it out on your own.
I'm
Yeah.
outside
That's the thing.
Work it out on
Keeping
your
up
own.
with
or not.
me.
Or even if you don't come, like, don't have an attitude. Like, and these are all things that you got to have these conversations with
Yeah.
before you get involved
Yep.
with people.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned. Sometimes we just get into it and we in it, and then we like, oh, shit,
Oh wait, I didn't realize.
I don't. Whoa. So shout out to that. Anyways,
Yeah.
so you want to do a poem first?
I was going to say, so
Oh,
how about you?
love to do a poem for you guys.
Yes.
So
love it.
I have
I'm
a
excited.
poem that I definitely want to do, especially because
Okay.
MVP is
Thank
here.
you.
So this is called Hija de Oshun.
I love it.
Born in the land of ancient oceans, but most only see a desert. I am the mermaid that found its way out of the water on 2 legs, but I am no daughter of Triton. Hija de Oshun. I thirst for a life that flows without fear of crashing waves. I want to float in spite of angry seas. Maybe I forgot how to swim or soak in the silence of the deepest depths. Questions asked in the abyss. What lurks beneath the surface? Yearning for a home that sunk long ago. Who am I when all has been washed away? Just a siren song? A memory on the edge of time beyond my reach, yet I still sing. An ancient melody like the coqui, more lighthouse than frog, and sometimes I swear I'm almost home. I can hear my grandmother's voice, her laughter echoing in my chest, a voice that went silent long ago. Who am I when all has been washed away? Hija de Oshun, beautiful and lonely. Please bathe me in golden light and give my heart a bomba beat. I want to come alive. Move me like a tidal wave of energy as I stomp my feet. Let my sweat fill these dry lake beds. May the earth tremble beneath me. Cyclones of water exploding fissures into the sky like cascading stars in the moonlight. Please remind me who I am. Ooh, thank you. Love the snaps.
Yeah.
That was so pretty.
Thank you.
That was got a frog in my throat. That was beautiful. Yes, that was very beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the space to share.
I love that, and I love having that space. Do you have like a writing process, or do you just get inspired, or do you sit down and be like, I'm writing a poem today, or is it all of the above? Like,
I think sometimes it shifts. You know, my writing process was definitely different before kids.
okay.
So before kids, I feel like it was that I'm gonna sit and write this poem. Like I'm
Okay.
having this thought or I'm having this feeling. I'm gonna sit here and write it until it's done.
Okay.
I don't have hours like that. So now I kind of write as inspiration comes, or write as I'm being inspired, or sometimes, you know, I've been real big in the workshop kind of sphere these days, either going to workshops, teaching workshops. So as part of that, typically you write on a theme or something.
Right.
So I am writing in that capacity as well,
Nice.
which is kind of also shifting my writing process. You know,
Is
and
that
then-
harder?
It depends. Sometimes you're connected to that collective energy of everybody being there. And, you know, you're having the instructor, you know, kind of talk to you about a theme. Or lately, I've been doing a lot of ekphrastic poetry workshops.
What's that?
So that's essentially poetry that is inspired by a visual prompt. So that can be a picture, a painting,
Oh, I got the
a
chills from
sculpture.
that.
And it is so inspiring. Like, I love it so much. You know, and so when you're in that, it's like a whole nother level of inspiration, because I feel like you're connecting into that energy of the artist and what they're trying to create, and really some really beautiful stuff like comes from that. So, you know, I also take my time with writing, like some like this, like the poem I just read, Hija de Oshun, like that came like over a few months of just
Okay.
writing a little at a time, maybe editing a little bit, you know, and just kind of giving it that space. Because sometimes, you know, if things are a little tough, you know, you write a little bit and step away for a
Yeah,
second.
and that's
you know?
okay to step
Yeah,
away,
step
too.
away.
Let it breathe.
Let it breathe.
What inspired that particular poem?
Lately I have been well, culturally I'm Afro-Latina, so I'm Puerto Rican. And so lately I've been just feeling this like call to the island, and just, you know, wanting to connect, and also feeling like I need to bring my children back home.
Oh, I love that.
You know, to Puerto Rico. And so I just have been reflecting so much of like being like a Puerto Rican born in the desert, even though I come from island people.
Yes.
And kind of what that means, and the desert really inspiring me as well, because Nevada was a vast, ancient, prehistoric ocean.
Yes, it
like
was.
massive ocean. So there's energy still of that. So that's kind of where I was talking about with that. And sometimes when I just drive into the desert or go to different hot springs, it's like if you really just look at at the mountains,
You can
you
see
can
it.
see how
can
it
see
was
it.
water. And so that really inspires me. And I'm someone who absolutely loves water. I mean, astrologically speaking, I'm Scorpio sun,
Okay.
Cancer moon.
Okay.
So I have a lot. I have a lot of water, and I was thinking about my grandmother, who was born in New York but spent a lot of time in Puerto Rico. Her parents immigrated to America.
Okay.
And like just thinking about her and, thinking about, that line of like hearing her voice, like her laughter echoing in my chest, and thinking about like the coqui, which is like a frog that only lives in Puerto Rico.
Mhm.
And like just feeling like I'm being called home, like I need to go there, this
Wow.
yearning. And so that's kind of where that came from. And I slowly feel like the the different kind of old ways, the old traditions, the old religions are starting to find me as well. Like, most Latinos in America and beyond, we were raised Catholic, but
Yeah.
being able to kind of understand that our spirituality as island people go far beyond that, and understanding a little more about the Orishas, and kind of having them find me, and being inspired. Like I was literally listening to Oshun chants as I was
Yeah.
writing this. So sometimes it is a bit of like being the vessel to have the message come through.
I
So
love
that's
that.
kind of how that one came.
That's very powerful.
Mm.
And that's very, I can feel like the calling. Does that make
Yeah,
sense? Like
yeah.
as you're talking about it, like I can just imagine, like I can really like see you guys going there.
Yeah.
That's
Beautiful.
exciting.
I take that, and we're manifesting it. We're bringing it together.
Yes.
Hopefully next year. Next year is my
Okay.
40th birthday.
Okay,
Aw.
shout
And
out.
yeah, I'm trying to take the whole family.
Yeah, you
I wanna
should.
go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That'd be
Have you been
beautiful.
there already before?
Once,
Okay.
yeah. When I was 24, I went, and it was so interesting because definitely played tourist and all the
Okay.
touristy things. But my hotel was right on the water, so they
Okay.
had their own beach. And so while like my travel companion was like checking in and stuff, I walked down to the water, and it's like as soon as the water hit my feet, I felt this like zing of energy up my entire body, and I started weeping. Like I almost want to cry
Oh.
being here, because it really is that feeling of like I came home.
Yeah.
I came home and I'm here. And and you
love
have
that.
that feeling too, like if anybody has ever taken an airplane to Puerto Rico, when you land, everybody cheers and claps and yells. It is this explosion of energy. They're singing because it is coming home.
Wow.
From people our ancestors left long ago.
Yeah. That's very exciting.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I know some people who are into the Orisha tradition, so I can pass you some information if you wanna.
Beautiful.
If you
Yes.
want to learn more and know more. I was gonna say something. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It's right
Well, my
there.
question
You got
was,
it, poet.
do you
Go ahead.
ever feel like you will move to Puerto Rico?
I would love that.
You would
I
love
would
that?
love that. It's kind of, with children, it can be challenging to
Okay.
navigate that. But I'm really giving that to God. I'm really giving that to God, that, I feel the call to go there. I do feel like eventually I will end up there.
Okay.
I don't know the how, but they say the how is in the domain of the universe. So I just put
That's
that
it.
out there, and what's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
But yes, I would love to have, a couple acres. My ancestry come from Jibaros, which is people who lived in the mountains and tend to the land. So I feel that. I feel, like that's where I'd want to be, and have goats and chickens
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. I would
Yeah.
love that. I'd love that.
Is it a more laid back life out there than it is here? Like
Yeah.
here, it seems like, I don't know. I've been watching a lot of people on the internet with their island lives and, living off the grid, or,
Sure.
and it just feels like it's so much more
Peaceful.
peaceful and at ease, and there's like no rat race. Is it the same
Well,
vibe, or is it just?
Yes and no, right?
Okay.
Because we're talking about Puerto Rico, which is a territory of America. So there is still a lot of civil unrest going on right
Okay.
now in Puerto Rico that it's important to acknowledge
Okay.
that the locals are being priced out by the millionaires and billionaires coming to the island, buying up everything,
That's not good.
trying to privatize beaches. Bad Bunny is really bringing a lot of eyes to Puerto Rico to see what's going on,
wow.
with these billionaires and millionaires buying up the island. So there is still challenge, their
Right.
power grid goes down anytime there's a major storm. So it's like, sure, you can have these moments that are just heavenly and, you're just tending to goats or you're swinging on a hammock with a
Right.
coconut. Yes, there is that. But there is also, that hardship of trying to make it, still trying to exist in a capitalistic society,
Right.
which Puerto Rico absolutely, has had to pay the price of that. And, we are an island that has been conquered too many times to count. So trying to hold on to our own culture, trying to hold on to our own lands has been challenging. So there is still a little bit of that rat race
Yes.
feel to that, but I think that, Puerto Ricans, like most islanders, we are incredibly resilient people.
Yes.
And, we find a way to find our peace and to connect with our ancestors and being able to dance and sing and eat and find that
Yes.
joy.
I feel like that. Yes. Every time you're talking about that, I can just picture it and feel it. And I feel like that's how our life is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like we're supposed to be
In bliss.
free and bliss,
Yes.
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 Doing what we love and loving what we do, whether it be herding goats or standing on a stage,
Yeah.
but just enjoying the experience of being alive and
Yeah.
honoring our ancestors and paving the way for our children's children's children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And I wish you that. I can't wait. I
Yes.
can't wait for you to be
I'll
like,
take it.
I'm going to
Yes.
Puerto Rico. I
Bring
got
it
my
in.
I'm not coming
tickets.
back.
Right.
Yeah.
See, you wouldn't want to be ya.
Sure.
So do you have outside of being the poet laureate,
Yeah.
what do you see for Miss AV as the poet?
That is a great question. And I've been asking myself that a lot because I feel like I have been in the space of giving community and facilitating community. So then when I bring it back to myself, like, what does this journey look like for me? I feel like it's still unfolding. I think I would like to get into maybe doing like children's books.
Yeah.
Because I do feel that pull, like I've given so much of myself to my community that, once I'm done being poet laureate, it's kind of like I have done enough.
Yeah.
And that I
know, that's
can
right.
focus on my family. I can focus on being a mom. I love being a mother.
Yes.
And so I want to be able to kind of cultivate that and see when I focus on family first instead of everything at once.
Right.
What does that look like? So I'm not sure of the 5-year plan. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for sure.
As me, as an artist, I hope that, I love surprise and delight. So I always put that into the universe, surprise and delight, give me
love
more
that.
of the good things.
Yes.
And I'm going to be ready to rock with it.
I love
So
that.
you're going with the flow almost.
Yeah, it's like I've tried to control things for so much of my life and caused a lot of my own suffering.
We mostly do.
You know what I'm saying?
We mostly do.
So, at this time in my life, like, there are the things of, manifesting like financial abundance so that we're good, we have food, health, all those sorts of things. And everything outside of that, I'm just, again, in that surprise and delight.
I love
Let's see
that.
how good it can be.
Yes. And I love that you said that because there was a time very recently where I was listening to something on the internet and it was the person was talking about you have to tell the universe, show me how good it can be.
Yes.
Show me how loved I am. Show me how adored I am. And not because I'm needy for something, but because I'm worthy and because that's just how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of surprise and delight because you don't you know that it's good things coming, but
But you
you're
don't know
not.
what it
Yeah,
is,
you're not
yes.
saying it has to be this. I
Yes.
need my Camaro right now, or the universe doesn't love me. You know what I'm saying? But every
Yeah.
day is new. It's a new
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah.
for us to be open to receive and be surprised and delighted by the universe.
And that feeling is so good. Like if we really just think about that feeling,
Yes.
surprise and delight.
yes.
How good does that feel? Like in your whole body, you're just like, yes.
Yes. And you can feel it without the surprise
Without or
and
the
without
delight,
or
right.
the delight.
Yeah,
so
and it'll just come that matches that. Oh, you like that feeling? I got the thing. Next time
Yeah.
you're gonna go to the gas station, it's just gonna be free.
yeah, you
You're
know,
gonna be like, what? And they're like, hey, here you go.
yeah,
I'm
every
not complaining.
No,
You know what
never.
I'm saying?
never
So,
complain,
yeah.
only celebrate. You know,
Yes.
because it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I have any more. I wanted to ask you this fun question.
Sure.
What is the strangest place you've ever written a poem?
I guess it depends on strange for who.
Well, I don't
in a
know.
cave next to a fire while people were drumming and dancing around me. Does that
Ooh.
count?
That
not
sounds
strange.
amazing.
I
I don't
was
know
gonna
if
say
it's,
that might be
sounds
strange to
nice.
somebody. It
I
sounds
don't know.
amazing.
It sounds amazing. I don't know if
Amazing.
it's strange. It's probably a unique place.
Yes. In the bathtub.
Oh,
In the bathtub.
yes.
wonderful, too.
In the bed in the middle of a forest.
Ooh.
Just being like, I need to stop right now and write this poem real
yes, like while you're on a hike or
quick.
something.
Yeah. Stuff
Nice.
like that. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any like really weird.
Are you like a note, like on your notebook or a phone?
Now phone before notebook.
Notebook.
Because I heard a quote from Erykah Badu that says, if you want to see shit get real, write on a real piece of paper with a real pencil and watch shit get real.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm writing on paper. And that's me for years until
Yeah.
I had kids. And now I feel like I'm always moving. I'm always busy. So yeah, note apps for sure.
Nice. I love that. We have so many options, which
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just got to write on a napkin. 'cause
Yes.
that's all you have, or you're
Yes.
at a restaurant
Right on their menu.
on the on the menu.
Yeah, you know those paper menus, they gonna throw them away. It's all right.
Oh, but they might pick it up and read it. That's
Well,
interesting.
you're gonna take it with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, unless you leave it.
And give yourself permission to do that. Your writing practice doesn't have to look like anyone
That's
else's
so
writing
true.
practice. And it doesn't even have to look like your old writing practice.
That's right, because we evolve and we
Every day.
change,
Every day.
and there's not one way
Yeah.
to do anything. Like you can take a little bit from you, and come up with your own style, or
That's
just pull
right.
something out. Or that's what I love about being a creative, because everyone's creative is different,
Yeah.
but it's still creating. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I can see someone on stage, and like one of my favorite poets is Obi West.
Nice.
I don't even think he's a poet. I don't even know what he does, but he's so immaculate with
Yeah.
with his presentation of his
Yeah.
words. And I'm like, how do you even do that? But
Yeah.
it's all good. So you've been on your journey a while,
Yeah.
and I'm sure like everyone's journey, there's ups and downs.
Sure.
In our last couple minutes, is there a particular moment that you can think of, like a pivotal moment? Somebody said something to you that like you always think about and that you want to share with the world, like a tidbit of wisdom, quote.
A quote.
It doesn't have to
I'm
be a
just
quote.
going to the first thing that went to my mind.
Yep.
And it was from my dad, which is interesting because I kind of have an estranged relationship with my dad. But
Okay.
that's immediately when I went to.
Interesting.
My dad said, "No one owes you nothing.
Mm.
No one owes you anything at all in this life." And it's up to you to make your life what you want it to be.
That's right.
And at the time, I thought I was young. I thought that was really harsh, you
Right.
know, because he was talking about himself, not owing me anything as his daughter, which is crazy.
Right. 'Cause-
But
I understand.
that's
So
another
much
conversation.
show is-
Right.
But
Get
really,
it, but not really.
older, I look at that and that almost kind of empowered me that if no one owes me anything, then that also means no one controls me. No one gets to dictate what I do, how I say it, or what I can do. So that really freed me in a way
love
from
that.
these expectations or this idea that I have to be some version for somebody else.
Yes.
I was like, no, if you don't owe me nothing, I don't owe you nothing.
Yes.
And sometimes you really just have to be like that to be able to achieve what might seem impossible.
I love that.
And you're talking to somebody who's the poet laureate of
Okay.
a region of over 2 million people
Okay.
that doesn't have an academic degree in poetry that's still out here killing it.
Killing it.
So, you know what, Dad?
Yes.
You right.
You right, Dad. That's beautiful. Well, I definitely enjoyed this talk with you. Real quick, can they follow you, and do you have anything coming up?
Sure. So you can find me across all social media platforms, Miss AV. So MSAYEVEE, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
My website is linktree.com
Okay.
/Miss
Miss
AV.
AV. Okay.
And on July 10th, over at the Clark County Government Center, we are going to be presenting poetry at the closing reception for With the Land exhibition.
Okay.
We did some poetry workshops and some poetry contests. So we'll be presenting our 3 poetry winners, and I'll be presenting poetry myself. It's free, open to the public. It'll be from 6 to 8 on July 10th. So come on down.
Beautiful. Well, you guys, this has been a great show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I just want to remind everybody that I'm going to take a little summer break, but I'll be back momentarily. But yeah, thanks. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. High 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot 702.5fm.com.